That's it, Maisie. You do it. Go on, you give us the Junkyard Dog. Right, guys, it's me and Maisie. We're here and we're ready to answer your questions. Aren't we, mate? You really liked the Q&A in the last video I did. It was quite some time ago now, but I thought it's time to do another one because we've had quite a few questions come in from people, and we do like to try and answer the questions in the videos, but sometimes it just makes the videos quite long. So we thought it's about time we did a dedicated Q&A and try and answer 3 or 4 questions in a bit more detail instead of trying to hurry them into a video at the end, so we can really do them justice.
Nick Clark said, do you know Nick Clark? Looks like
I'm not sure.
Kind of guy. I don't know. Joe, you're self-coached, so how do you avoid overtraining?
Good question, Nick. Well, first of all, I've been doing this for like so many years now. Like, I first started triathlon back in 2001, and even when I first started at 13 years old, I've always kind of been coaching myself since then. Like, I mean, at that time I was going to some swim club sessions, so the sessions were coached, but I was kind of picking what ones I go to, and then when I was cycling and running, I was kind of just doing my own thing. I mean, sometimes I'd go to a run session, it would be a specific track session, but a lot of the time, you know, when I was out training, it was just up to me. And then I always had an interest. And I remember even when I was young, I was always Googling like training philosophies, looking at what other training people did to see how I could make myself faster. And this was like when I was 14, 15 years old. And then I went to university, did sports science, and then obviously that helped me learn a little bit more. And then at this time, when I was at uni doing sports science, I'd been training like about 6-7 years. So I'd always had like a big background. I was coached for a little period of time back in 2011 and 12 by a guy called Paul Savage, who was in Manchester Triathlon Club. And that really helped me, and I learned a lot from that. But then I kind of moved away and I kind of got into doing it myself again. Just because when I was there and the coach can see you, I think is fantastic. You know, they can offer loads of insight, and it was great being able to train under Paul when he could see me, because he could like pick up if I was tired, and he was a physio as well, so I could go and see him for physiotherapy. So that made sense. But when I went my own way, it kind of made more sense to me to coach myself, because you know how you feel and you can adapt it, you know, depending on how you feel. Whereas I did have a coach in 2016, and I felt like some of the sessions weren't hard enough. Some of the sessions I would have done different. Sometimes you'd feel a bit tired and fatigued, and you'd have a hard session on your plan, and you kind of thought, am I being a wimp? Do I need to get this done? Even though you kind of thought the right thing wasn't to do it, and it would kind of like, it was almost like you were second guessing yourself. Whereas when I coach myself, I'm very good at listening to my body, and like if I feel tired, so for instance, last Sunday, I went out and the plan was to do a long bike ride and a run off the bike. But I felt really tired. Had a great session Saturday, but Sunday I felt really fatigued just within myself and my body. I didn't feel right. I think I had a bad night's sleep as well. And I literally ended up riding 3 or 4 miles. I think I did 2 miles and then turned back round and thought I'm coming back home, because I knew I just didn't feel right. But then I had the confidence to do that, whereas a lot of people wouldn't have the confidence. And I think if I was getting coached and I rang them up, they would probably say, you know, if you felt like that, then cut it short or whatever. But the problem is, some people, when they have that on their coaching plan, they'll just do it no matter what. Whereas I think I'm very good at listening to my body. And then that made me think, well, it's early season yet, there's a long winter, we've still got 6 months for the World Championship. So I thought I'll get Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday's training done. And then I'm going to have a bit more time off for Thursday, Friday, really easy, do hardly anything. And then a Sunday, because I train Saturday. And, I'm good at listening to my body like that and adapting the plan. And I feel, that we're on Sunday now, I feel really fresh and I'm ready to go. So basically, that's a bit of a long-winded way of saying I'm very good at listening to my body. And I've always learned a lot from other coaches. I've been training with Keenly before, when we were in like Kona before, in Maui before Kona. I've been on training camps with loads of other professionals. I've spoke to them, I've seen them, I've seen Brett Sutton's lot in Maui, and I always talk to people, and you can always learn something from everyone. So I'm always up for taking as much info as I can and then using it to my training to see how I can really improve myself.
So this from Madison. Hi Joe, I wear glasses too. Obviously you wear lenses in your races. Have you ever had a lens malfunction during an Ironman?
Hi Madison, that's good observation, and I'm very fortunate that I haven't had a malfunction during an Ironman race, which I'm very surprised at because of how many I've done. I normally use contact lenses. Well, I do always use contact lenses for Ironman racing, but I haven't actually lost a contact lens in an Ironman, which I think is probably very lucky. If I did, I would probably struggle because my eyes are terrible. But yeah, I'm very fortunate that I haven't lost one. But if you do as well, if you use glasses, then contact lenses are definitely good for racing. I would probably give that a go.
Yeah, she did say she started wearing lenses and it's been a real game changer.
Really?
Yeah. This is from Chris. Question for you, Joe. Will you be deploying your controversial Junkyard Dog race tactic at St George this year? You have to explain that for people who don't know what that is, because I don't know what that is either.
First of all, if you don't know what the Junkyard Dog is, you need to listen to the podcast that I did, Triathlon Mockery, and that was about my friend Tom who said it. There's a big story behind it, but basically he overtook a Brazilian age grouper. He was an age grouper back then. They had a bit of a rivalry. It was going back and forth the whole time before the race, and he told us that when he caught him in the race, because we knew the guy was a better swimmer than Tom, but Tom was a much better cyclist, he was going to bark at him like a junkyard dog. That's it, Maisie, you do it. Go on, you give us the Junkyard Dog. He did the Junkyard Dog when he overtook him, and the guy didn't like it, he hated it. But if you want to hear the full story, check out the Triathlon Mockery podcast. But yes, I 100% will be employing the Junkyard Dog tactic in St George. Jan Frodeno is not going to know what has hit him. Maisie looked when I did that, like, didn't she as well?
I bet she did. I bet she did.
She's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Look, she's like, that in a Junkyard Dog.
This is from Paul, no last name. What are the key things you've been focusing on to continue to improve your swimming?
Oh, that's a good question, Paul. So massive thing for me was when I went out to Dubai in January. Like, I was training with another professional athlete, Felipe Azevedo. He was top 10 World 70.3 champs, and he's a fantastic swimmer. But he gave me some really good tips for improving my swim with like training, what kind of training sessions to do. And I've had a lot of advice off people in the past, and some stuff's worked for me, some stuff hasn't. But this really helped. He was really good at like helping me with like what kind of paces to aim for. And I think that's been the biggest revelation, because I think the problem with me and my swim was I always felt like I had to do hundreds really, like at a fast pace. Everything, all the intervals felt like they had to be fast, and I probably wasn't doing them specific to me. It was just like what you hear other people do, and you kind of, when you go to master sessions or club sessions, everyone is like banging it every session. You kind of, when you swim by yourself, then you feel a bit demoralised. Well, I certainly did sometimes, because I'd be hitting like 114s, 113s with the master squad or swim club, and I go by myself and I'm hitting 116s, 117s, and you think, am I terrible? Like, you know, am I feeling bad? Or it just puts you off doing interval sessions because you're not hitting the paces that you feel like you should. But he kind of got me to swim at specific zones to me. So threshold sessions were always like a set pace, and we'd change the rep distance and do it off short recovery. And then there was endurance sets where there was like longer efforts, but 5 seconds, 100 slower than what I'd be doing my thresholds at. Whereas in the past, I'd probably go too quick for the endurance, wouldn't be able to do them, so just wouldn't do the sessions, just literally wouldn't do any endurance stuff, you know. And since I've been following his kind of like principles that he set in place for me, and obviously adapting some of my other sessions, you know, changing them around, doing a bit more kind of like endurance stuff in my other sessions, so constantly swimming instead of doing too much technique. I actually found I was doing too many drills before, because people say that you need to work on your technique a lot, and I probably wasn't doing enough steady state swimming. I just wasn't getting the swim fitness, and I don't think doing all the drills was really helping improve my technique, because I didn't have the fitness to hold the technique. So that's really been a revelation for me, training specific training speeds for you where you're at, and maybe not doing quite so many drills. I mean, I'm not going to say that would work for everyone, but certainly for me, my technique feels like it's improved a lot from not doing as many drills. I do drills in the warm-up. Every session I'll do some drills, but just not sessions where you're spending most of the time doing drills and getting hardly any aerobic swimming in. So that's basically the general principles of what I've been following, and I'm probably swimming the best I've ever swum at the moment. Certainly for this time of year, I'm swimming the best I've ever swum. Like currently, compared to other years, I reckon I'm probably 4 seconds 100 faster. And I finally feel like I know what I need to do with my swimming to improve. So it's exciting going forward. I'm really enjoying my swim more than I ever have done before. So that's how I'm hoping to improve it. And yeah, I mean, trust me, there probably isn't one thing that I haven't tried with my swimming. I've tried everything.
What's next on your race schedule?
Oh, what's next on my race schedule? Who was this question from as well?
They have a weird
An alias.
Kind of, yeah.
They're going under an alias.
Alias.
It's like a troll.
Troll.
That is a very good question. What's next on my race schedule? And I'd love to be able to tell you, but I don't actually know triathlon wise. Running wise, the next race that I actually want to target is the North Norfolk Cross Country Champs. I won it before, but I'm running quite well at the moment. And I'd like to give that a good crack. Not that it really matters in the grand scheme of things.
When is that?
That's in January. We could get a video from that as well because it'd be quite interesting. But triathlon wise, unfortunately, Ironman haven't actually released a list of events for next year, so I can't actually say what my next event will be. But I'm looking to do 1 or 2 events before the World Championships in May. Stay tuned because I will let you know when I know. I just don't know when the events are because they haven't let us know yet.
Yeah, I'd probably expect some details on that around maybe December or January, probably. Right?
Definitely by the end of the month, I
Yeah.
definitely want to know because you need to start planning. But I mean, that's Ironman for you. All right, guys. So I hope we've answered some of your questions. Let us know in the comments below what you think of this type of video. If you like it, then we'll definitely try and do more of them because they're pretty easy, to be honest, for us to do. And if you guys find it interesting and it helps you, then yeah, we can definitely make this more of a regular thing, or certainly answer some of your questions. If you do have questions you want them answered, the best thing to do is write in the comments below on my videos what questions you have, because Tyler's always scanning through and he picks them up on his phone and then he gives them to me in some of my other videos or a Q&A like this. So that's the best way to do it. So just write in the comments section below. Anyway, let us know also what you think of the video and catch you next time. See you later. Go on, Maisie. We get a bark?
You're going to bark again?
Can we get a bark?
You've got a bark. I think you've got a bark to end it as well as start it. Go on. There you go.